Hello, this is Sandy with Needs a Ribbon, and we are here for another Make It Monday Madness. And I will just kind of hang out and talk about what we're going to do today while I wait for people to join me. And hopefully, you're liking these Make It Monday Madness activities. We've done a variety of things from kits to pretty technical card to all kinds of things. And I hope you're finding enjoyment and usefulness out of that. And I am sorry my hands are dry, so they will get slathered in love after this is over. But anyway, yeah, so we're here for Make It Monday Madness. Today is December 8th, 2025, and I thank you for joining me. I really do. I have been enjoying these. And I will just share what we're going to make today. Today we are going to make a gatefold easel card. That's a lot of words to describe a card, and it is in the standard A4, A2, A4, A2 size, the 5.5 by 4.25. And so this is how it will look when it's done, something like this. I am using in this one the new Valentine's suite that comes out in the mini catalog that is released in January. I believe that's January 6th is when all that comes out. Because I'm a demonstrator, I was able to get my hands on that product early. So this is what it is. It has a belly band. You take the belly band off. These are your gates, your gatefold. And just I found that it's easier to fold this flap around back for mailing or whatever. And then when you're done, it just sits like this. And there's your easel part. How absolutely clever is that? And it's all out of one sheet of cardstock plus the extra stuff. And I did ask you to, if you want to follow along, I did ask you to bring some stuff with a sheet of cardstock, some coordinating DSP, stamps for a greeting, and some various stuff like that. And of course, like a lot of our Make It Monday Madnesses, you can go and finish on your own time once you have the basic instructions. But isn't that just nifty? Yeah, I just find that it folds easier to fold that behind, like if you're going to mail it, than it was to fold it in. Just because of, the bulk of the paper and everything, it was just taking up too much to try and fold it in that way. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to put this off. Hopefully people that are going to join us have joined us by now. And we can get started. And again, this is Make It Monday Madness with Sandy with Needs a Ribbon. And here is your basic instructions. And excuse me, if you need this mailed to you, I will pop in the email address, but it's bows@needsaribbon.com. That's Bows, Bows, not BOES or BOSE, the speaker company. BOWS, as in like a ribbon bow. And so this is our basic card. And let's just look at it for a minute. So it's just one sheet of cardstock, standard A2 cardstock. And we're going to score, fold, trim, and that's it. And then you decorate. And I do have some basic information on the back too. I am, for mine, I'm going to be using another new product. So I am, for mine, going to be using pecan pie as my base, because the new suite that is coming up again in January, the Nature Walk suite or Explore Nature. There's kind of two components of it in the new catalog. I can show you the outside of the catalog, but that doesn't really say much. But yeah, Nature Walk / Explore Nature product suite in there, and that's what I'm going to use for my card, and you guys will be using what you're using. So it will function the same, but it's not going to look the same. So yes, let's go ahead and get our trimmer ready. And I didn't tell you to bring a trimmer, but that should kind of be understood, since I didn't give you any cutting measurements, that you're going to need to do some trimming. So I'll give you a second to grab one if it's nearby, if you're following along. And okay, So we need to score our sheet the long ways at 5.5. So we're just going to score it in half or fold it in half if you don't have a scoring capable trimmer. You want to make sure that's nice and even. And this is the score one, the lighter one on the Stampin' Up! Trimmer. And these parts were just on special when we had a short Black Friday type special. I actually did land a supply of some extra blades because the trimmer was, the blades, and I've got enough trimmers. I truly do. I have 3. Don't be weird about it. I keep one here, I keep one in my craft area, and then one in my scrapbooking bucket that I take on retreats because that way I don't forget it, because that has actually happened on a retreat. I forgot my trimmer. And boy, did that cause some angst for me. And my friend was laughing. She was fine, but it was just kind of awkward. Anyway, so their next measurement, we're going to score again at 2 1/8 in from each the short width. 2 1/8. Yeah, that sounded like it cut it, didn't it? Wow. I'm going to make sure that's nice and thick. And we'll go again on this side. 2 1/8. The 2 1/8 is the, well, I'm going to make sure those are really good. Now we need to cut up along the score line on half, on the, we'll call it the this half. It's really the top half of the card. So we're going to do some cutting. So make sure you have your correct blade. Believe me, those accidents do happen. I'm going to make sure I'm cutting along the score since I made that nice score mark. And I'm just going to flip my paper over. That was just easier. I found easier for me at the 2 1/8 mark. And go up to our score line, the 5.5-inch score line. Okay. May have gone a little bit longer. That's okay. And then in my trimmer, wow, that's why I need to order new blades. Look at that. This is why I need more blades, and I don't have them with. I'm not going to change them out right now. But yeah, nothing like a dull cut. So the last measure, score, whatever we're going to do with this piece is we're going to go to 2 3/4 up from the bottom of this half that we're working on, and we need the score blade. We're going to take from our mark, our cut mark, and go across, and or if you don't have a scoring thing, you can just fold that up to the score line there. Wow, I'm sorry, I'm actually a little bit embarrassed by how rough that paper is, but if you're just joining me, this is Sandy with Needs a Ribbon. It's Make It Monday Madness, and I hope you're enjoying this because we are making a gatefold easel card. So next up, and what I'm doing is, this is one sheet of this Nature Walk paper. Oh, it's so pretty. I actually sat when I first pulled it out and started trying to read all this. It's like it's a story. It says, Jill was and crime start Phil till I can't read. With peace. I really wonder. I'd like to ask Stampin' Up! What is actually written on here. I'd really be curious. And this is the back side. It's some kind of grid with some various. So this is like a pecan pie, and this is like your basic beige almost. But this is what I found was easiest for. I'll bring the card back in for cutting these pieces. Is to do this. Do like me, because I learned and I kind of perfected. You want to measure these at 1 7/8. That gives you that nice 1/8-inch border going all the way around. So 1 7/8, and you're going to cut. Make sure your paper is laying in the correct direction of how it's going to lay on the card. And you're going to use your cutting blade, and we're going to go all the way up. And then we're going to do that one more time. at 1 7/8 and cut all the way up on our pattern paper. Now, if you were using what we call a paper stack, the 6x6 paper, you'll have to do that probably 4 times. So then I'm going to put this aside, and here is what I'm going to do, because the words aren't going to be readable anyway. We're going to go to 5 1/4, and that'll be either the inside or the outside. We don't know yet. Sandy hasn't decided yet. And we need another 5 1/4. And you're just going to do this, and then you have a little scrap to do whatever you want with. And you're going to do it 4 times. And so this is what mine is going to start to look like. It will be, these will come down, and we're going to have some kind of paper. Actually, these are going to get cut off. I'm sorry. I forgot to do that. We will go back to that. And paper, and then like paper and paper. I am sorry, we were not done playing with this. So that's okay. Our trimmer's still out. We're good. So we want to lay this back down, and I find that this is the last measurement to do. You can either just take your snips, your scissors, and cut these off at the score line, or you can carefully use your trimmer and just make sure that you are accurate. That's why I was getting confused. So yeah, these, we just cut paper for these wings, the part of the gate. See how good that folds? Very, very careful. And my dad taught me, and we're going to save these, the kerf line, your cut line, and it, changing it by like a 1/16 of an inch can really alter everything. I'm done with this piece of paper. I'm going to bring in now. And so these are the measurements that we're working at. 1 7/8 by 5 1/4. We need 4 of those, of whatever. If you want them all 4 the same, that's fine. The next we're going to measure is 2 1/4 by 4 and 4 by 5 1/4. And here's another little cutting tip that I learned. Make sure I want my paper going in a certain direction. I think I like it like that. I am just going to take, and because I'm using cutting all from the same sheet, this is my little tip. If you're cutting all from the same sheet, then you're just going to use both sides. Go to the 4 line, 4-inch mark, cut all the way up, then turn and cut. If you want this on the bottom right here, we're going to cut that. I don't know which way I'm going to use it. And then we're going to take this remaining hunk, and we need to cut 2 at 2 1/2 by 5 or 4. And those just, I found, were the simplest cutting instructions. And you can modify that if you were using 6x6 paper or scraps, but there you go. That is generally all. Nope, not all done cutting. We are not all done cutting. Next, we're going to take, and did I grab? Yep. And I asked you to bring some Scotch tape. Why don't we just go ahead and do that right now? You want to tape these 2 pieces together along their short edge so they make a long, this is your belly band. And I'm keeping my tape on the in because we're going to layer some paper over that. And actually, that's going to go on the inside against the back of the card, so it doesn't even matter. So this was 2 inches. Yep. Well, it's 2 1/8. So we need to cut a belly band, and this is what I found is the easiest. Follow Sandy. I will write that. I have not written that on my instructions, but we are going to cut a piece of pattern paper, or if you want to use solid colored cardstock, whatever. It just needs to be 11 inches long by 1 7/8. I better make darn sure I'm not going to use that because my paper doesn't match that. I like this moody section. So 1 7/8. Boom. And now we are all done with the base card. And then it comes the decorating and all that, of course. But let's bring over all our pieces. Let's grab, we're already done with the Scotch tape. What we're going to do with it. You need your base adhesive, whatever you are using to attach all this. Let's just go ahead and do the belly band right now. I'm going to put adhesive on the back of that, just because that can then, I'll just put that aside for a little bit. I'm not going to put glue at the end because our piece right here is not 11, it is only 11 inches long. It's not 12 inches like our paper, so it seems kind of silly to put glue on and then make a mess. That's just a little tip. Again, making my sample. You see what I mean? And then this is going to go against the back of the card. Nobody's ever going to see it. We're going to set that aside and let it dry. Now, we're going to decorate the inside here, part of it. So decide what paper you want up. I'm going to put, this is Secret C. And then we're just going to lay this down like we were putting a layer on any other standard card. Okay. And next, on our inner flaps, which will show when the card is in use, we can go ahead and just burnish those score lines. Because remember, it's going to get mailed like this, but when the user, the receiver, or just you set it up, it's going to go like that. Okay. So these will be open. What do we want on the inside and what do we want on the outside? That is a toughie. I think we're going to go with this on the inside. I am. Again, yours will look very different. So let's put some adhesive on these pieces and get them glued on. And don't forget, if you're watching this later, you have the advantage. You can pause and catch up, or you can come back to this if you like it. And if you're just watching now to watch, that's fine too. But this card is a lot easier than the last card I did, which was still fun. It really wasn't that hard. It was fun, beautiful. The kind of pop-up inside card. Make sure we're getting that all centered properly. There. Now let's flip our card upside down and we're going to do the outside flaps, and I'm going to use, and since this, make sure mine has a direction with the script, the words. So I want to make sure that they're facing the right direction. This is one of those cards where direction really does count. And like that. And again, this is Sandy with Needs a Ribbon. You are watching Making Monday Madness, and we are making a gatefold easel card. So I'm going to recommend, we'll make sure this is facing the correct direction. So yeah, let's bring that flap. And I'm going to use this since I haven't used it. I'm not so in love with it though. It's moody. I could do more of this. No, I'm going to do the Secret C. It's moody. And I cut out my decorations in Secret C. And so we're going to glue on our layer that's 2.5 by 4. and this area is 2 3/4 by 4 1/4, so just fits nicely in there. And again, make sure your paper, if it has a direction, is facing said direction that you want it to end up. And I'm going to take a quick water break. Sorry. Sorry about that. Moody. But I like it. So now we've got, why did that slide? Darn it. That slid. I don't know if I have any hope of tucking it a little bit without ripping everything. Maybe a little bit. It slid. That is the one advantage and disadvantage of glue, is that it sometimes, even if you think you've got it pressed down, it can slide a little. Ghost slide. So next up, we need to decorate our card. We are done with the base card. This is where we're at. It will get mailed like this, with a nice gate, and like that. You can decorate that too, but that is going to add a little bit of weight to your card if postage costs are a thing. I don't think it's really necessary because that also is a good place to write your greeting to your person. See? It gives you lots of space. If that gives you anxiety, you can stamp on it, you can decorate it how you want. I just don't feel that it's really necessary. So I'm done with my cutter. I got to move some stuff here. I brought over because I didn't know if I would be using Secret C as a card base. Secret C is just that moody, I don't know, something extra. It's kind of cool. But yeah, I pre-cut just because in the effort of time and just making it easy. I pre-cut some decorations, and we'll decide live what gets used. And more paper. Sorry, I need to, because I'm going to lose stuff. I already, in setting up and making my sample, I lost one of the dies from the nature walk. And I lost the die that cuts out these little pieces. And I had a coronary, and it was found, and all is good, but it was bad. So I'm going to bring, and the other item from Nature Walk, I buried. I know I have it here. I have a little Secret C ribbon that comes with the suite. Has kind of a nice, and I probably will be using some of that. So I'll get that open. You're getting to see new product here. See how that's kind of a, oh, how that is gorgeous. It's like a mesh. What do they call it? Bordered open weave ribbon. Yeah, it's like a mesh, Secret C mesh. And then I have some doodads. Oh, here they are. Sorry about that. Small table. You've heard me, if you've watched me before, you know I've talked about that. I have a small work surface, and it's okay. So these are also come in the suite. If you buy the whole suite, faux bronze pentagons. They are heavy and they are metal. They are not plastic. Those have some heft. So that will add some weight and vault to the card. So this is the part that's going to easel is the easel part. So that I was kind of playing with this idea. Again, you're getting to see me kind of playing live, and that's okay. I planned it that way. So I'm going to take, and I cut out, we have vellum. Vellum is back. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited about vellum. I missed you. We've had printed vellum, but I'm talking plain vellum, which now comes in the 12 by 12 size and not, I'm putting some dimensionals on the back of this just to give it a little lift, and I don't know if I'll have enough to finish the card, but that's okay. We'll make it work. And I actually kind of like it like that. And then I was gonna do something like that. You know, I could glue dot that down. And while you work on yours, I'm going to glue dot it because it's going to get held on also by dimensionals from the greeting. But I don't want to put, I want to make sure my adhesive stays in this paint because of the easel. So keep that in mind if you've got some big elements that you're only putting them on, you know, unless you want them to bend with your card, which could be a thing too. Okay, okay, come on, glue dot. We're almost done here. We're just kind of decorating and then we've got to do our belly band. So it's really not a very hard card. It is a fun card. It definitely, can you imagine someone getting this for their birthday or something? You could even include some photos. Come on. That did not eat. I suspect these glue dots are old. Anyway, doesn't matter. They still work. Okay. I'll lay that. Again, these are dies from the Secret Sea. Heavens. The Nature Walk suite that's coming out in the new catalog. And if you've bought from me recently, chances are you will get a catalog mailed. If you would like a catalog mailed, you're going to have to let me know. Again, that email address is bows, BOWS, at needsaribbon.com. And let me know. Say, I need a catalog, Sandy. I really want a catalog. I promise I'll buy from you. Okay. That's that. Not done. This is kind of what I'm thinking here. And it's me. It needs a ribbon. Isn't this Secret Sea? Yeah, it is Secret Sea. Just checking. But okay. Yep. Someone probably should have pre-tied the bow so you didn't have to sit here and look at me painfully do this. I can tie a better one. I'm just trying to rush. And what I found sometimes with these kind of ribbons, the heat of your fingers kind of press it flat. See that? I'm going to trim my edges. And these scissors look like they could use a good wipe down. They're gooey. I think I like that up there. So yeah, if you're just joining me, we made a gatefold easel card. You'll have to watch from the beginning later. And this is Sandy with Needs a Ribbon from Make It Monday Madness. Oh, that's pretty, you guys. Okay, so there are several ways because you don't want that easel sliding. I planned on using these. God, that feels like it's almost a half a pound, probably a quarter pound, but those are seriously hefty. I'm going to take and just, they'll kind of stop on this, on my sample card. I actually did put something, maybe that would be good. That might be good to do something like that. You just need something to kind of make a stopper. There are many, many different ways to do that. Since I'm doing this on the fly, we'll do it this way. Wasn't quite my intention, but definitely will work. Gives a little bit of visual interest inside. So there is, and it really helps if you burnish your score lines. I didn't ask you to bring a bone folder, but it really can help. Those are nice and sharp. Fingers work too. So there is the inside of our card. We can write our greeting here. Now we just need to do our belly band. So I'm going to set that aside. Actually, we need to fold this up, fold in, fold in. That's part of why I didn't want to use these, because now it's kind of lumpy, but that's okay. Now we want to take, with our card shut, want to take, and we're just going to loosely wrap our belly band around. You don't want it so tight that the user, that your recipient has trouble getting it off, but you don't want it so loose that it just slides right off. So I'm going to trim off, put your blade next to your cardstock, and that's how you get a nice sharp edge. And we need to glue our belly band. Perfect. Yep. I'm going to put a little bit of glue over here and a little bit on this side, and the two shall meet up. You want to press and hold until that glue kind of bonds with the paper. Don't know if I'm done with that. Probably. Yep, that's sticking. And put our belly band on so we can kind of get a visual of what it's going to look like. This card weighs a lot. It definitely would be the postage card. I'd planned to use that little circle on the front, and that's okay. It didn't work out. So I cut some more of these little leaves, or dies, from the the nature walk. Sweet. I just need a little dimensional. Kind of put this all together. It'll stick together and it will get hidden. I've got a plan. I've got a plan. Sandy has a plan. Put it like that. You could put a greeting on the outside too. I'm not going to use these on the outside because the card already weighs so much. But I'm going to make another bow because it's me. Need the ribbon. And again, I hope you're enjoying this gatefold easel card. That was really bad, Sandra. Goodness. That's bad. It's okay. I salvaged it. In the end, I salvaged it. I'm going to press and hold. Press it flat. We'll give those little ends a trim. I'm going to leave the ends longer on here. Again, my scissors are not dull. There's adhesive all over them. That's why they're not trimming so good. Now I need, this is where it's going to get hidden. Put a glue dot. I'm going to use 2 glue dots. I'm going to cover that right up, just like that. So there is my Nature Walk gatefold easel card. And I don't know if you're going to want to put a little note that says fold this. You might want to put a little post-it note if someone may not understand. But how pretty is that? And then we have our Valentine one. Again, I need to do a little more burnishing, but It will stick. It was sticking just fine. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the gatefold easel card. Once again, let's put this on the back. Your instructions, your base instructions. And we'll see you next time on Make It Monday Madness, where on December 15th, I do not know what we're doing, but there will be one on December 15th. Thank you for joining me. This has been Sandy with Needs a Ribbon, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye.